Hello, Michelle Kilman, your dependable lender with Summit Funding. Today we're going to talk about the housing bubble. Have you heard someone say this lately? We're in a housing bubble. It's going to pop and we're all going to lose our equity. Ah! I've been hearing it a lot lately, so I'm sure you have as well. So the sales price of homes continue to be reduced. Okay, we're seeing that happening across the board. But hint, if you are a listing agent and you are keep price reducing, talk to me about using a temporary interest rate buy down to offer the buyer instead. The seller still makes the same amount of money and it's an incentive for the buyer. So talk to me if you have not heard about this, okay? You don't always have to price reduce. It's not the only strategy. So if you don't understand how it works, I do, okay? All right, so let's get back to the point. Will there be a crash? I don't think so. And I have three reasons why I don't believe there's going to be a crash. So my first reason is that mortgages are structured differently than they were back in 2008 when we had all the foreclosures and we had all the short sales. Okay, we all remember that pretty vividly, right? So back then, people, it didn't matter like what they could afford when that adjustable rate mortgage changed. They just got qualified for whatever rate. So now people have to be able to afford the fully adjustable rate mortgage rate in order to get qualified for that type of loan. Okay, so they have to afford the highest payment possible, whereas that was not the case back then. Closing disclosures are also now required, and so a closing disclosure just tells you all about your loan and shows you all of your loan amount, your interest rate, your payment, how much cash you need to close, and then it has a whole piece of paper telling you every single fee that was charged to do your loan. It shows you your anything that's getting paid off in there if you're like rolling in some debt, or that's really for more of a refinance purposes. Is that sheet if you are paying off debt or paying off your old mortgage or something. And then it shows your APR as well on that sheet. So people are a lot more informed about what's going on with their loan versus when they had nothing before. We also have DTI limits, so that's debt to income limits are in effect. And so we make sure that you have enough income to cover your debts and extra to pay for other things like food and stuff that we don't look at in your credit report, right? We don't look at your grocery bills. So you have to have extra, and those are set in place now, whereas they were not before. So 2008 and earlier, there was a lot of shady lending going on. And if you actually look at all the lending rules and regulations, a lot of them were set in place around 2008 to stop all of this. Okay, so that has rectified. We're not doing shady lending anymore. We're very regulated, trust me. And yeah, so that's my very number one reason. So the second reason that I have is that housing is currently not being overproduced. So we are still around 3 million homes short of meeting the demand. 3 million, you guys. That's a lot. So 1.2 million homes are predicted to be built in 2023. So that's still not going to meet demand, but that's the number that I got. And 2 million homes were being produced in the early 2000s. So that's a whole million homes extra than we're currently predicted to do. So that just leaves for a lot of houses that were sitting empty, right? Because we were building so many back then. And that is not happening right now. We have a lot of demand and we don't have enough supply still to this day. So then my last and third reason why I do not believe we are in a housing bubble is that price reductions do not mean that the sky is falling. Although maybe this is why people are acting like chickens. So the market is actually correcting itself from people throwing $20,000 of their hard-earned money on top of the sales price of the houses, right? That was happening all the time. Just here, over, which drove the prices up. Okay, so inflation. So you remember all those videos, like you don't even have to show the apple in order to sell it, and it was selling in 2 seconds, and a house sat for the whole entire weekend. It was amazing, and all those silly things that were going on just a few months ago. So market correction is not the same as a market crash. Okay, we're just correcting for those ridiculously high prices when people were overbidding, and now it's at a more normal price. This is what our houses are supposed to be priced at and should have been priced at. It just got really crazy because of the demand. So those of you who have been waiting for the bubble to pop, stop it. More inventory means less chance of being outbid, right? And you also get to shop a little bit of a slower pace because that house isn't going to fly off the market. So you can actually look around and find something that you really, really love. You can take your time a little bit. So it's awesome. And the rates are still good. Interest rates are around 5.25 to 5.5. And it's still better than paying $20,000 over the asking price and waiving inspections and waiving home warranty and waiving all this stuff because we don't care. We just want the house. We don't have to do that anymore. And you paying a 5%, 5.25% interest rate is still less than you taking $20,000 out of your savings and throwing it at the house. Okay? It's going to take a really long time to spend $20,000 even at a 5.25% interest rate. Okay, so get with me, get with a real estate agent, and stop talking about the housing bubble. Let's go. Have a good day, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.